Welcome back to Real Christianity with Rev Kev, Yaki Yaki. We have our first guest ever on Real Christianity with Rev Kev today, my daughter, Kelsey. Kelsey, tell us a bit about yourself.
Hi, well, I'm Kelsey, and I'm 29 years old, and I have a master's in special education, hoping to be a special ed teacher soon.
And you are in, I don't mean to shock you, but you are in a wheelchair.
No.
Tell us about that.
So I was born with cerebral palsy, and if you're a kid, I would tell you that my legs don't work, and they're not as strong as yours. For an adult, I would probably tell you that it's brain damage from birth, and it affects my balance and all the use of my muscles.
So you've wrestled with this physical disability, you're in a chair. Tell us about your journey with God in light of a disability.
Well, I came to Christ when I was really young. I was a toddler and I accepted Christ then, but it's definitely a work in progress. It's not, relationships are built, and it's the same way with God, but there's still difficulties and frustrations, especially with COVID. I know I'm not the only one who's dealt with a lot of anxiety and just sadness, and it's difficult. And people with disabilities are likely even more isolated. They don't have places that they can go that are friendly to their wheelchairs, or many different things could be difficult for them. So there are definitely reasons to be upset with God, and things happen, but it's important to remember the good things. I know God wants to give me good things because He loves me, and I can look back on so much of my life, whether it be being able to go to college and have that experience, or make new friends, or I don't know, the list could go on for forever, but you can see that God is still good despite the difficulties, though those difficulties are still very real, and you're going to have emotional responses to them, but that's part of being human, and God's there to walk us through that.
Really good. I mean, in light of a great big God that we want to have a relationship with, we're also wrestling with that relationship with people. And when you feel isolated from people, it's easy to feel isolated from God. How can we as individuals help to bridge that gap with someone like you in a wheelchair?
So, to start off with something that I feel like everyone would grasp is just to remember that everyone wants a friend. No matter what your struggles are, or no matter what your life is like, we were made to need people in our lives. And so when you're interacting with someone with a disability or in a wheelchair, first of all, treat them the way you would want to treat a friend you've had for years. There's a lot of basic things that fit into any friendship. Now, in terms of having a friendship with someone with a disability, that may take more patience because things might take a little longer, or whatever the case may be, but be patient and reach out. Be willing to go to that individual and just invest in their lives. They need it, again, they need it as much as you do. So don't forget them, and don't leave them out of life. Just be kind, and I guess from a logistics perspective, don't step in front of people in a wheelchair. If you get bumped, that's not fun for you, and it's not fun for them. So definitely just become more aware and ask God, or ask the friend that you're trying to get to know. Ask them questions. They will walk you through. They don't want to push you away. They're wanting relationship. So I guess don't be afraid, and just be aware of what's going on, and treat them the way you would want to be treated as a friend.
Powerful stuff. Here on Real Christianity with Rev Kev, we've talked about having a relationship with God, and now how that flows out into our relationship with each other. We've heard Kelsey talk about how that impacts her, and the desire to have people reach out. When you're in a wheelchair, other disabilities, it's tougher often to reach out, to get across that room because of obstacles or whatever.
Figuratively and quite literally.
Absolutely. Lots of obstacles. In our lives, we're all created in the image of God. There is no regular person. We're all special. And in Real Christianity, Jesus reached out to those, the disabled, the blind, those with leprosy during his time. And what an encouragement to us, not to just look for those friendships where we get something, but just for a true relationship that goes deep and you can connect. But anyway, let's big round of applause for my daughter, Kelsey. Thank you very much. It's been great having you. As they say in our village, yaki yaki. Don't forget to hit subscribe and hit that little notification bell so you can keep up with what we're doing here on Real Christianity with Rev Kev. See you next time.